Hi everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Just gonna wait a few seconds for the live to catch up to Facebook. So come on in and join. Just gonna give it a few more seconds. Okay. Hi everyone, good evening. I'm Yolanda Nixon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Grand Prairie, Texas, which is North Dallas. I'm right in the middle of Dallas and Fort Worth. So if you're familiar with the area, right next door to us is Arlington, which is the home of the Cowboy Stadium. So we're very close to there. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. This is the 5th week of the 12 weeks of Stampmas. And what is Stampmas? Is stamping plus Christmas. So every Sunday I'm going live at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am creating Christmas cards, holiday cards, or projects showcasing some of our bundles, stamp sets, our designer series paper, embellishments, ribbon, everything that is for your Christmas cards, so that way you can get a little bit of a head start creating your own cards for your family and friends. So I hope you take the cards that I make and maybe tweak them, use them, copy them to create your own Christmas cards or holiday cards. And if you would like to have the instructions for the cards that I make, you can join my VIP group, and the link is in the description of this video, and I will post the instructions in the VIP group. Now, I am having some technical difficulties with my Adobe. It will not upload my instructions to the Facebook group, so I'm trying to figure that out. So I'm a little behind posting the instructions, but I'm going to work on that this week to get all of my instructions uploaded for the last 4 weeks plus today. So again, if you join my VIP group, you can find the instructions in the group, and you can makes it easier for you to copy the instructions and the measurements and all that, so you don't have to write them down. So let me get started with what I have coming up. So this next week, which is on Wednesday, or this Thursday through Sunday, is my fall retreat in Red Oak, Texas. And it is a little bit late. Registration has closed, and I'm getting ready and cutting and designing and things like that for the retreat. But if you would like to join, my next retreat will be I'm checking on the dates, but it should be in April of 2026. And then my next retreat will be the summer retreat, or a Harry Potter theme retreat will be at the end of July. And then I'll have my fall retreat again next year in October. So next year I will have 3 retreats. You are welcome to join any of the retreats that I have, or all of them. It's going to be a great location. It's going to be at the Raggedy Inn Retreat Center, or that is located in Red Oak, Texas, which is about 30 minutes south of Dallas on I-35. So it's not far from me, but if you're not local to the area, make plans to join us and take some time away and just enjoy crafting and relaxing with fellow crafters. So the craft retreat is from Thursday through Sunday. And I will provide some projects. We'll have some bingo, some delicious food. And of course, you can bring anything that you want to work on during the retreat and relax. And we'll be watching some movies, have some slight music in the background just as noise. So feel free to come and join and sign up for my next retreat, which will be next year in April. And of course, every month I have my crafting classes. My next crafting class will be on October 25th, which is Saturday, and it's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I will have 4 different classes that you can choose from. You can take 1, 2, or all of them. you can come in from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at any time. Just make sure that you come with enough time to finish your projects, but you can come and go during that time frame. And if you cannot attend my class in person, then you can sign up to take them to go. So I will provide all of the measurements, all of your cardstock that's already cut. I will not be able to stamp, but if you purchase a stamp set that I will be using, then you can stamp on your own. Or if you have something similar, you can use what you have from your Stampin' Up's inventory. But you can take that to go, and that does come with instructions also, so that you can put your cards together. And those to go will be mailed after the class is held, so the week after. And the last thing I have is our cruise. So I am co-hosting a crafting cruise. We will be on Allure of the Seas, Royal Caribbean. We will be heading to the Bahamas, and then Cozumel and Costa Maya, Mexico, and then coming back. So it's an 8-day cruise. It sails off on October 10th of 2026. Like I said, for 8 days. When we are at sea, we will be crafting. My co-host and I will be in the room, and we will help you with the projects that we're going to provide for you. We're going to have some snacks, some gifts, swaps, things like that. When we're at port, you can get off the ship and go do some excursions, or you can stay on the ship, do other things, come back to the craft room. The craft room is open 24/7 on this where we're going to be located, so you can come and go as you please, but myself and my co-host will be in the room when we are at sea. So we're going to have 4 days at sea and 3 days at the ports, so it's going to be a wonderful time. If you have never been on a crafting cruise, I encourage you to attend one. They are so much fun, and there's so much to see, and the ship itself has a lot of features that you just have to attend. But it's a great experience. So let me know if you would like some more information. I do have a monthly newsletter that will be coming out by Tuesday with more information on the crafting cruise and all the links if you would like to sign up or have more information. So there's one more thing I would like to talk about, but let me turn my camera around so I can show you before we get stamping. So you're gonna see my ceiling fan for a few seconds so I can get this situated. And there's my crafting table. So the last thing I wanted to show you is the special that Stampin' Up! Has right now for new demonstrators. So right now, Stampin' Up! Has 2 excellent ways to join as a demonstrator, and of course there's never any obligation to sell. You can be what we call a hobby demonstrator and just purchase your own supplies at a discount. So the way you can join, there's 2 ways, and this is also on my banner on my business page. So the first way is there's a $35 bundle. You get to pick $125 worth of product that you choose, and you only pay $35 plus tax. Shipping is included. The other thing that you will receive in addition to the products that you choose, you'll get a past paper pumpkin, you'll get business supplies, again, that you don't have to use, and of course the free shipping. So you can choose $125 for only $35, and this is until October 31st, or you can choose the $189 products worth of products and only pay $99, and that again includes shipping. You only do the tax and includes a free past paper pumpkin plus all the business supplies that you would need. Again, there is no obligation to sell, but this is a great opportunity to get more of the products that you want at a great price. Of course, you'll be considered a demonstrator, you'll have your number, but again, there's never any obligation to sell. But this is, if you see all of the products that I use within the 12 months of Stampmas and you would like to have some of those products, this is a great opportunity for you to get more. Should I say for a lesser price, for a cheaper price? But it is a great opportunity. So again, we have the first one, which is $35 and you choose $125 worth of product, or we have the $99 and you choose $189 worth of products. So it's up to you. If you would like more information, please give me a call, send me a message on Facebook, and I will talk to you about it. If you would like to scan and go straight to my page to join, you can do that also. But this information will also be in my newsletter that will be coming out. If you are not part of my newsletter or not receiving the newsletter, I will post it here on my business page, Stamping with Yolanda, P&I Crafters, or you can just send me a message through Facebook and I will add you to my newsletter list, and you should receive that within the next couple of days. Okay, so let's get stamping. So let's get the business over with. So I will be using the Decorative Trees photopolymer stamp set. This is an online exclusive and it is available while supplies last. So if this is no longer available, then it will not be coming back. So it's a $20 value and it's photopolymer. And what is photopolymer? So photopolymer basically is see-through stamps, which is easier to stamp when you're putting it on paper. You can see exactly where it's going. And this is going to be the future of Stampin' Up. They are no longer doing the rubber stamps, which is the ones with, and I don't have it set here, which are the ones with the rubber backing. So all of them are going to be photopolymer now, which to me is great because, like I said, it's easier to stamp with. I can see exactly where I'm going, and I'm going to use the technique today to show you how photopolymers are so easy to use. But I will be using all of these stamps. That's why they're missing for our cards today. I will also be using the gold and striped ribbon. So this is gold stripes on a clear ribbon. So we're going to be using this one also. We're going to be using the Elegance, let me get the right name, the Season of Elegance designer paper. So this designer paper, you get 2 sheets of each. They come with green, and there's different colors of green in here. You got Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, then you have the Very Vanilla, then you have Cherry Cobbler and Real Red with gold. But then on the back side, you also have the same colors, but there's no gold on it. So you can decide to choose this side to use or use the other side. For the 2 cards that I'm using, I'm going to be using the side with the gold. So I will be using the Mossy Meadow and the Real Red on this one. And if you have any questions about the colors that are in the package, you can always go to the back of our designer paper, and on the label, it should show you the colors. Most of our designer papers have this. So this one has Basic Beige, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Gray Granite, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pretty Peacock, Real Red, and Gold. So those are all the colors that are mixed in to these designer papers. And then we're also going to use, and I'm running out of these, so these are the adhesive backed metallic gems. And I'm going to be using a lot of these. I've been using these quite a lot because I love the colors. So I need to get another one of those packed. Now this stamp set is not available right now with a die or a punch. So I am going to be using the Pine Tree Trimmings dies from another bundle. So the only 2 things I'm going to be using from this die set is the star and the garland. And I'm going to die cut those out from our gold paper. Okay, so let me get started with one of our cards. Oh, let me get this all over here. So this, I'm going to be using the Mossy Meadow. And here's my ribbon. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of trimming. And again, all these measurements are going to be in my VIP group. So please join if you would like the instructions. I'm just having a little bit of technical difficulties right now uploading, but I'm going to get that straightened out this week. because I am so backlogged on uploading the instructions. Okay, so this is Mossy Meadow, and it measures at 4 1/4 by 11. So I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to score it at 5 1/2 because that is the middle point. And our paper trimmer has 2 of these tabs on them. One is to score and one is to trim, to cut. So when you're scoring with the light color, make sure that the dark one that you're cutting is away, so that way you don't make the mistake and cut your paper. So we're going to score. Now we're going to trim from one of these sides. So this right here is 5 1/2 from the middle to the end. So we're going to just cut it in half, which is 2 3/4. So now I need to bring back my trimmer and cut that out. And this is basically our card. What I'm going to show you is 2 designs of practically the same card. One's going to be horizontal and one's going to be landscape. Wait, horizontal and portrait. Horizontal and landscape is the same thing. Okay, so now we're going to score. And we are going to add our designer paper. So I'm using, again, the Mossy Meadow Old Olive with the gold. And I'm going to get my Stampin', my seal. And Stampin' Seal is great. So if you have never purchased a Stampin' Seal, you can buy it with the case. But once you have a case, you can just buy the refills. And if this runs out, I'll show you how to do the refill. So we're going to put that on top of Very Vanilla. And the measurements are 1/8 less than the next measurement. So this is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. So the Very Vanilla is going to be 4 1/8 by 2 5/8, I think. 1 2 3 4. Yes, 5/8. And then the designer paper is going to be 2 1/2 by 4. So it's just 1/8 less than the previous measurement. And I like the gold to be on top. And this is our inside Very Vanilla piece. Oh, and that was a little bit, see, this is why I always have to measure. So this is going to be also at 4 1/8, and this should be at 5 1 2 3/8. So it's 1/8 less than the size of the card base. So now it fits. But I also cut a piece of our designer paper, which is 1/2 inch by 4 inches, because you're going to see, I'm going to attach it here, and you're going to have the little border around it with the vanilla. I almost lost my seal, and it was sitting right in front of me. And just leave a little tiny border on the side and on the top too. And then we can add this to our card base. And you're going to be able to see the stripe of the DSP from the outside of the card. So when you close it, you're going to be able to see it right here. Now we're going to stamp, and I'm using Mossy Meadow. And inside the card, I'm going to use our sentiment, May Your Days Be Merry. And this little stripes is just decorative, and it's with the stamp set. So I'm just going to lay it on the bottom of my sentiment. And it's just going to add just a little decoration. Okay, now I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to do some stamping. So I'm going to use our tree, and I'm going to do a stamp off. And what that means is I'm going to stamp it full ink, and then I'm going to stamp on the side of it with no inking. So I'm going to do 2 stamps with 1 ink. 1 inking, I should say. Okay. So I'm going to put it on this paper. And the middle tree is the one that we're going to focus on at the end. So I'm going to put a star at the top, so I'm going to leave a little bit of space, and then I'm going to stamp off towards the top like this. So it kind of gives you like a little shadow, and then I'm going to stamp 1 here, and then 1 on this side. I'm going to do 1 more here, and then the top. So it just kind of gives you like a little, and then I'm going to use the rest of it. Might be a little bit light, but that's okay. It's kind of like a shadow in the back, but we're concentrating on the one in the front. Now this also comes with the stamp set, and this is the outline of the tree, and this is where the photopolymer comes in handy because it's see-through, and I'm just going to layer it right on top of this middle one. And I can see, I'm going to lay it right on there on top. And it just puts it right around that tree. And that's why it's so good to have these, because you can really see and stamp. Whereas the rubber ones, it's solid, so you really couldn't see. So it was kind of hard to do that. So now we're going to add this to our card piece that we cut from the top, from the front of our card. Oh, and let me give you the measurements for this one. So, let me close my ink before I get ink everywhere. So let me give you the measurements for this one. So this is going to be 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. Because it's what I cut from the top of it's the piece that I cut off from here. So now we're going to use our ribbon, and we're going to add it to the left side of our cardstock. And I'm going to use my reverse tweezers. I couldn't locate the ones from Stampin' Up, so I'm using the ones that are not Stampin' Up, but I need to locate the ones from Stampin' Up. So maybe a little bit later. And then I'm just going to do a bow. And just kind of wiggle around the bow to the length that I want it, the little loops, and then we're going to move it towards the edge here, but just enough so that we don't cover that tree. And if your ribbon goes over the tree, that's fine too. So we're going to pair these up, and then we're going to trim them at an angle. And now we're going to add dimensionals to the back. And these are our mini dimensionals. You can see I use them a lot. And I am going to add, this might be a lot, but I'm going to use 9 mini dimensionals, and I'll tell you why. So these 6 are to keep the ribbon in place. But because this is so big, I want to have some dimensionals right here by this tree, but not going over, because if you go over, then it's going to stick to the bottom and then your card won't open. So I want to have at least some right here towards the middle. So that is why I have 9 dimensionals, these middle dimensionals. And that looks good. Then we're going to take the backing off. Oh, and don't forget to comment on this video. You have until next Saturday to comment, and you will be in the drawing to win these 2 cards that I'm making tonight. And there's no purchase necessary. You just comment, I do the drawing, and I will mail the cards to you if I don't see you in my card class. Okay, so now we've put it in the front of the designer paper, our card front. And if you open it, you don't see the dimensionals because it's only on this side. But that is covering up your sentiment, so that way you don't see it until you open the card. Okay, so the next 2 things I'm going to do is I've already cut the star, but I'm going to show you with the other card on how to do the die cutting. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of the star, take off the backing. And if your star goes over your paper, that's okay, because you won't be able to see it from there. At least not a lot, but that's fine if you go over. Then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp. So I'm going to bring in this little piece, and this little piece measures 2.5 by 1 inch. And I'm going to use the Sentiment Oh Christmas Tree. And I'm going to stamp it towards the left of the old, Very Vanilla. And the reason being is because I'm going to cut from the edge to the middle at a slant, and then from the other edge to that same middle, connecting the cuts, and it's going to create a banner. See, I'm going to create a little banner. Easy. Then I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of this. I'm going to add 3 dimensionals. And I'm going to place it right here where the bottom of the trees. And then I'm going to get my metallic gems. And I'm going to use the gold ones, the big ones, and the small ones. And I'm going to place 2 on the banner, a big one and a small one. And then I'm going to put some on this tree right here. Just kind of offsetting them. All right, we are done with our first card. So that is our first card. Oh, Christmas tree. Now our second card is similar. And I'm going to be using the real red. Let me move all this over to the side. Let me grab all my little pieces, my ribbon. Ew. Oh, there it is. I thought I lost one. I got it. Okay, so this one is going to be portrait. We're going to fold this in half, and of course this is 1/2 of an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So we just cut it we cut it in half at 5.5. Ooh, sometimes that's hard to say. Okay, so this is what we consider a fancy fold card. We're going to fold it in half, and then we're going to take one of the flaps and fold it back on itself in half. And then we're going to crease this part here. So when it opens like this. Okay. So now we're going to take our designer paper and our Very Vanilla. And again, this is an 1/8 less than the actual sheet. So this is going to be 2 inches by 5 3/8, and then this is going to be 2 7/8 by 5 1/4. So just 1/8 off of each other. And put that on the Very Vanilla. And then we're going to add some adhesive to the back. I'm kind of wanting my seal to run out so I can show you how to replace that. But it's not. There's a lot of adhesive in there. Okay, so we're going to add it to our card front. And just on this front flap, because that's going to be folded and that's what you're going to see in the front. Now, I'm doing the same thing. I've taken a strip of 1/2 inch of the designer paper, and this is 1/2 inch by 5 1/4, because the Very Vanilla, oh, that is not the right one. Okay, now you're gonna let me, I grabbed the wrong piece. But that's okay, because now I'm going to show you how to cut. Okay, so I'm going to grab this. And anytime that you cut your designer paper, you're going to have a lot of leftover pieces. You see this right here? These are all my little leftover pieces from all the cards I've made using this designer paper. So I'm just going to grab a piece and make sure that it is long enough. And if it's not long enough, then I will cut it. Yep, see, that is 1/8 too short. Okay, so I'm going to grab one of these pieces. I'm going to cut 1/2 inch. Trial and error. And then I'm going to cut it at 5 3/8. No. 5 1/4. You know what? Now I got scared. Oh, I know what I did. I forgot to cut this paper. I forgot to cut this paper. Now it's jiving. Ooh, got a correct word to say? I don't know. Okay. Now it works. Your measurements have to be correct. Otherwise your card would be lopsided or not fit. Okay. Now we're correct. So now this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And so this will make this 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. And I'm going to add it right on top of where the other piece was, so there's no glue mess. And then I am going to add it to my card face, and you will be able to see the strip of real red from the outside of the card. Just like that, just similar to the other one, just a little bit. The other one's horizontal, this one's portrait. Now I'm going to do my stamping from the inside. And I'm going to use Mossy Meadow only because it's going to match the tree that I'm going to put on the front. And this is a very Merry Christmas. And you can see some of the sentiment, but you're not going to be able to see it from the front because it's going to be covered. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my piece of Very Vanilla, and this measures 4 by 3. So this is 3 7/8 by 2 7/8, 1/8 less. Okay, So now I'm going to do the opposite of the tree. I'm going to stamp my outline first, and I'm going to stamp it towards the right side because I'm going to put ribbon on the left. And now we have our tree. So you can either do the tree first and then the outline, or the outline and then the tree. Both of them are easy to do. You can see, because it's photopolymer. And now we're going to add this. To our real red. And before we put our ink away, I'm going to stamp Season's Greetings. And again, it's going to be towards the left because I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other one. I'm going to create a banner. So I want to have some room on this side to do my cutting. Oh, I dropped something. Okay, so I'm going to, from the tip to the middle, again from the tip to the middle at an angle, and where they both meet. Now we can close that. Okay, now we're going to grab our striped gold ribbon, and we're going to do that again. We're going to, and because this is really long, I want to make sure I have it in the center. And we're going to do our knots. Let me get my reverse tweezers. And the reverse tweezers holds down the center of your ribbon because I don't have a third hand to put my finger in the middle. And take that off, tighten it up a bit, adjust your loops the way the height or the length that you want them. I think this is too long. And then pull again to tighten them. Yep, that works. And then we're going to stretch this out, cut a diagonal. And then I'm going to move, just grabbing from the middle, just kind of wiggle and move to the top of your little sheet right here, because the banner is going to go right here, like this. So I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this one. And I'm going to do the same thing, do 3 dimensionals. 1, 2, 3. Take the backing off. And I'm just going to leave a little bit of space so you can see the ribbon underneath it at the bottom, and this on top. And then we're going to add dimensionals. We're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to add 4 dimensionals on this side and 4 dimensionals on that side. We won't need a third row because there won't be any space for it, but it should be enough. And again, the dimensionals are holding the ribbon in place once you attach it to the card front. And just make sure you don't go over the half, because that's going to be then gluing it to the card base and the card won't open. So we don't want that. Oop. Take the backing off. And just making sure I got that. And now we're going to add it to our card front. right in the middle and press. And if you think your ribbon is a little bit big, like I'm looking at mine, it's like, no, that's kind of, your bow's a little bit big. I'm gonna shorten it, and then I'm gonna also cut these off. Okay, now the last thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna use our dies, because you're probably thinking, what about the dies? Okay, so we're gonna use our dies. And I'm gonna bring in my die cutting machine. So I'm gonna move all this out of the space. Now, if you were with me last week, you saw me use some dies that had a big star, and I used some gold paper. I like to keep scraps because, you know, this is what I use, because when I do little things, I don't want to tear up a whole sheet. So this is perfect for the star. Oh, excuse me. And this is perfect for the banner. So I like to reuse and use as much of this gold paper as I can, so I don't have to cut another piece, because there's plenty of space on this one. So that's just a helpful hint, not hint, helpful tip. Ooh. So if you just have some leftover paper and you don't want to throw it away, that is perfectly fine, because you can use it to die cut these little things, or a little strip of something, or use it as an embellishment, just a little, like I did on the edge of that card, that half-inch strip. So it's okay if you don't want to throw. So here, just to be honest, another star could go here, another star could go there, another star could go here. I can get like 3 more stars out of this before I throw it away. So that's just how I am. So, and I had already die cut 2 more of these, because I'm going to use 3 on my card. So I'm going to add a dimensional to the back of my star. And I'm going to add this to the top of my tree. And I'm going to add the garland, just with glue. You can wrap it around here, or if you want to start it just kind of underneath there, and then add another piece here, and you may have to cut off some of that, just like right there. So I'm going to cut this piece off. This will require 2. And I'm just going to bring in my Tombow glue. And the reason I did this after I did the sentiment is because I didn't want to hide the banner, all of it, underneath the sentiment. I know some of it's going to be hidden, but not all of it. So adding the sentiment first kind of gives me an idea where to put my garland. And then to add some glue, all adhesive glue to that. And you can connect the garland if you would like to. You don't have to, like, overlap the little circles at the ends. And then I can put this one right here, and I'll need 3. So I cut 3 just to make sure I had enough. Ooh, and that's a lot. Okay, and if you're doing another card, another tree, you can use these leftovers for that other card, and then just press and let it dry. But that is our second card. A very Merry Christmas. So these are the same, they're similar cards. One, of course, is horizontal, landscape. One is portrait, vertical. But you can see the design is almost the same. We got card designer paper here, a strip. Designer paper here, a strip. You got your sentiment. This is fancy fold. This is, I guess you would consider a fancy fold also. But they're very cute. They're very simple. Not a lot of different products to use in these cards, but they're wonderful. And the reason I didn't use real red on the stamping is because the tree is green. I don't think I've I don't know. I didn't want to do the red real red stamping. So, but it coordinates wonderfully with Mossy Meadow for this card, and of course this card. So those are the two cards for today. Again, if you comment on this video, you will be entered into the drawing for next. I will post it on Sunday on this video in the comments to see who the winner is. But all you have to do is comment. There's no purchase necessary, no joining my VIP group or being a demonstrator. All you have to do is comment on this video. You can just say, hi, how you doing? I saw the video, cute cards, whatever you would like. You know, cute cards will be great, but whatever you would like. So I hope you enjoyed this card tutorial, and 46 minutes. I think this is the fastest I've ever gone. But I have been talking a lot, so outside of making cards, it could have been shorter probably. Anyway, but thank you for joining me for week 5 of Stampmas, of 12 weeks of Stampmas using the Decorative Tree stamp set. Again, it is an online exclusive, which means when it is sold out, it will be gone. So if you would like this stamp set and you do have different sentiments, go ahead and purchase it. I do have an online ordering special. So if you order $25 or more, you will get 5 all occasion greeting cards from me mailed to you. If you purchase $50 or more, you'll get the 5 cards plus an embellishment, which could be rhinestones, ribbon, twine, anything that we have as an embellishment. If you purchase $75 or more, you get the cards, the embellishment, and you get a 6x6 designer series paper pack, all because you used purchase through my online store. That is my monthly incentive ordering special, and it's 1 per person per month. So if you want to order in October, order in November, order in December, you will get the ordering special every month, but it's 1 person per month. So if you have any questions about anything I've spoken about, please let me know. Send me a message. Send me a an email at picrafters@yahoo.com, or you can go to you can scan the barcode, the QR code here, and go straight to my online store at Stampin' Up. Or you can just find me here on Facebook. I do have a YouTube channel because these videos are only available for 30 days on Facebook. So I am downloading them to YouTube. My newsletter has the YouTube link along with the Facebook link. But again, those videos will be gone in 30 days. So they will always be available on my YouTube channel. So, and I will post those links also on this video once I download it and it's available. So again, thank you for joining me. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. And if you are going out to the State Fair of Texas, I hope you guys have a wonderful time. I just came back from Fright Night at Six Flags last night, and it was wonderful. I haven't been there in about 15 years, so I was excited to go. And I think I might go to the State Fair tomorrow. So wish me well, and hopefully I don't eat a lot, because I do have a list of things I want to try. Okay, well, you guys have a wonderful weekend, or rest of your weekend. Talk to y'all later.